one of those hot Kansas evenings. Temperatures in the hundreds. After I graduated high school in 1996 from Salina High School South, I was given a pamphlet from my guidance counselor to check out a summer program because I wanted to go to college. I said I wanted to go to college. And she said, why don't you try this test run summer program, see how you like it. So I went and did that. I was placed in a psychology class and kind of like a weed out composition class to gauge how my talents were or whatever, like my writing abilities and stuff. I originally wanted to sign up for an English course, like a composition course, but they put me in psychology because that was the only one available. And so I didn't score too well. That was my weakest class. I ended up getting a C in the course. I just didn't understand it. Didn't make sense to me. I don't know. Not saying psychology is a bad soft science, but it didn't appeal to me as much as I thought. It's kind of scary to me. So anyways, the summer, after the summer ended, I came back home, and then I went back to start the school year after 1 month. So I went there and started the school year. I kept flunking out of English courses because I kept taking English and writing courses. So that was my thing. Like, I kept going back to them repeatedly and flunking out. And that was like my weak point. I was always flunking out of writing courses and composition courses, you know. So it's a nice car. Anyways, it's probably too hot to do that out there for too long. So I would take English courses, and I kept flunking out of them. And then I would eventually, by I would say my second year at the University of Kansas, I would say from 1996 up until 1998. So I had taken summer, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, because I had to make up these courses each time. So I was like going like full time the whole time, only getting 1 month off, and Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I'd go, and I did this for 2 years, flunked out, and ended up at the Menninger's Clinic, which is a psychiatric hospital in Topeka, Kansas. So I was at this Menninger's Clinic, and I don't know if they were studying. They probably were studying me. It was a great place, actually. I didn't mind it, except the medication. I didn't like the medication because it caused a lot of problems for me. So, uh, I was having a hard time with the medication, and then eventually I found out that the medication was used as like a truth serum in military operations. And then, um, when I got out, I went straight back to college. You know, uh, I was working full time at Schwann's factory, pizza factory, frozen pizza factory, and I was going part time to Kansas State University, Salina, and just taking like 2 courses. I think it was like public speaking and photography, just to get back into the university life. So, and I did fairly well. One of my topics was the death penalty and how they sometimes they execute the wrong people. The teachers, you know, Amnesty International and stuff. So, yeah. Uh, Looking back, I felt intimidated by saying that because I had a cop in the class, but I just agreed with the class, but I deep down inside I knew the teacher was right, and so, anyways, I got into Kansas Wesleyan University. All right, did that. Graduated with a BA. By all this time, I'm attending a place called the Crossroads Club or Mental Health, whatever. Crossroads, Central Kansas Mental Health, whatever, on Elm Street here in Salina. And then I'm going to Central Kansas Mental Health at the same time. So this is ongoing, all right? From the time I'm released from the Menninger's Clinic, I'm going to this thing till they release me from the Crossroads Club, all right? Whatever they call it. I don't know. Mental health place. But I'm still attending psychiatric and psychology and psychiatry and therapy sessions at Central Kansas Mental Health Center, all right? So, and I'm doing this consistently over a long period of time in my years, like 40 years, all right? Up until recently. When I said I didn't want to be on the medication that they put me on, you know, I was tired of it. It was causing me major sexual side effects these past couple of years. So, yeah. I couldn't nut. Yeah, I couldn't nut. And I was having a lot of muscle tension. So, I was having a lot of problems, you know. So, what they did was, first I got after I became HIV positive. When I became HIV positive, I was placed into Salina Regional Behavioral Unit right then, alright? I was already miserable. My life was going downhill. I lost everything. I got fired. I was working these like bullshit illegal jobs, alright? And I was like, I landed a job at fucking McDonald's. Everything was going to shit. I was HIV positive. and nobody was hiring me except illegal work, and then I ended up at McDonald's. And after that, for a couple of months, I got admitted into the Salina Regional Behavioral Health Unit. They put me on a medication at first. It didn't work very great. It kept knocking me out like a zombie, so I just passed the fuck out like I was on dope or some shit during classes. And then I'll go into the details of everything. So they maintained my same medication that was prescribed by Central Kansas Mental Health Center, and just upped the dosage. And so in the last, I don't know, year or two, I started complaining. I was like, I'm having a lot of problems and pain. So I went to a new doctor at Salina Family Health Care, and I said, I'm having a lot of pain. I'm just in pain. I need help, and I'm not able to have normal urological functions. I really need to get off this medication because I'm like bleeding. All right, I'm like bleeding. That's how bad it is. I understood that my medication had had sexual side effects that I was taking, that was prescribed at Central Kansas Mental Health Center. Had pretty severe side effects at the end. So, sexual side effects. So, oh my God, is there a fire? So I told my nurse at the time, or I think she's a nurse, but she's like working in psychiatry. I said, I can't take this medicine anymore. I'm in a lot of pain. It's too extreme. And I even have to see a urologist about it. I'm like, it's not good. And we agreed that maybe we can switch my medications, experiment, see what's good, what's not for me. And we started off with melatonin. Melatonin was like, all right, we're going to clean your system, see what, everything. And then we're going to kind of start anew on a new regimen, a little bit healthier. After that, after the melatonin therapy, everything got shut off from there. And then I no longer started really communicating with her. I was hoping that maybe we would still experiment, and then she recommended something like Rama melatonin. I don't know, but I thought maybe this sounds right. Maybe I do have like insomnia, because I told her I'm having a real hard time sleeping. I've always had a hard time sleeping, so I have bad insomnia. So I thought maybe she could look into sleep therapy or something, or sleep disorders. That might be something that I'm being afflicted with. Then all of a sudden I stopped kind of talking to her. And then I was just talking to my HIV counselor, or my HIV doctor at Salina Family Health Care. And after the injection, I was no longer able to communicate with anyone after that. So, but yeah, I want to show you about my mental health journey. God damn it, my seat is breaking. Am I crazy? I don't know. Who isn't? We're all mad down here. I think psychology is a more complex science than you think. Like they say, it's a soft science. It's not a hard. You can't take a. There's only certain factual things about psychology that exist. To the point that you can have multiple disorders, not just one. So when someone says, oh yeah, you're schizophrenic, you're depressed, and I don't know, you have narcissistic personality disorder or such and fuck, whatever, you know, anger issues. Or whatever, you know. That's not a clear indication that you, in fact, have one disorder, right? There's a lot of gray area involved. And when it comes to parapsychology, some idiots just don't understand what's really going on. I don't know. God damn my legs. Yeah. They don't understand what's really going on. They think they do. I've only had one, I think I only had one parapsychologist. No, actually two parapsychologists, I think. Maybe three. I don't know. Four. Who knows? But only two that I can verify that they might have known something about parapsychology. So yeah, I guess like what? Back in the 80s, wasn't it a big thing for the Russian KGB to do like remote viewing things with their military, with psychics and Uri Geller? That was really big in the 1980s, if you know what I mean. Sorry, my seat just keeps melting in the sun. I mean, I'm not against psychology. It's an interesting field. But most psychologists have some type of neurosis involved in their lives already. They're already a bit off, most of them. From what I know, they have that je ne sais quoi, if you know what I mean. And sometimes that je ne sais quoi is kind of sick. Sometimes it's kind of cute. You never know. Sometimes it's just the mad genius, you know? Shit. Ah, I need a new seat. It's hard being a social retard in Salina, you know what I mean now? Now I'm a physical retard. God damn. All right. Maybe I can figure out a different kind of seat, you know. I don't know. Maybe use this somehow, but I don't know. Yeah, it sucks to be me, right? You never know who's next, though. It always sounds like you're not part of this kind of weird shit until you find out you are. You're like, wait a second, what the fuck's going on? You know, like I thought, yeah. Seems like they always knew from the start. When you're a kid in, I don't know, elementary school. Sorry, I need to throw that trash away. I mean, who would have thunk? I don't know. Who would have thunk? Nah, it couldn't happen to me, right? Do you know that you might be part of a game that you never knew you were a part of? Probably not. Not everybody knows, so. You just see some weird characters over and over and over again. Let's get back to this, so. Anyways. Howdy doody, my friends. I got some information I want to clear up with you. I need to kind of shower up, but, you know, I woke up like this. Kinda. I've been busy doing shit, so, like, busy bee. So, housework, you know. I guess my mama did teach me that. She said, get off your ass, Cinderella. Start doing the housework. It's water. Anyways. So my journey into psychology and mental health all begins probably like before I even knew anything, back in elementary school. Who knows? It could go further. Who knows? Who knows? I don't even know the story and where it begins. Anywho, let's talk about my journey. After high school, attending the University of Kansas for 2 years, flunking out, and for the first time meeting a psychiatrist at this place here in Salina. All right, Viridian Behavioral Health. Viridian Behavioral Health at Salina Regional Health Center is a molten in plate. Yeah, so yeah, this is where it started. You know, I had a psychologist or a psychiatrist or whoever. He was evaluating me, and yeah, and he was saying maybe I should go to Manager's clinic just to. I don't know how bad they thought. How many drugs or whatever I was on. I don't know what they thought I was doing, but I don't think it was as bad as they thought. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what the storyline was about me. But as far as I know, I didn't have much money at the time anyway, so I was still living from like hand to mouth, basically. Just learning to take care of myself as an 18, 19-year-old. Some are better adjusted than the others, but yeah. So, anyways, that's where my journey begins. All right. And then after that, I'm sent here. It no longer exists, though. All right. The Managers Foundation was founded in 1925. So, from Viridian's evaluation to Menninger's this place here in Topeka. And his sons, it grew into a world-renowned psychiatric center, making Topeka the psychiatric capital of the world for over 70 years. The clinic permanently relocated to Houston, Texas in 2003. Starting in, okay, so, yeah. All right, just take a screenshot. I don't want to read this shit. But yeah. So it's world renowned. When you drive up, it's pretty scary. But once you get in, it's pretty cool. It wasn't bad inside. The only thing I was scared about is like, how they treat you and stuff. And I don't know. Some of it was okay and some of it wasn't. So, but ultimately, I didn't feel like I was treated too badly. 100%. All right. So, I really didn't feel like, they were going to torture and cut me up and like do weird experiments on me, but this is what they did do. All right. This is what they did do. I'll tell you. So go ahead, make your screenshot. You can find it at, yes, if you need to. All right. But that's where I went. Not bad, but, interesting people. Some of the fucking smartest geniuses I've met in my life. So, not only in the staff, but among the patient population. They put me on this. Haldol is a first-generation typical antipsychotic medication used to treat schizophrenia, acute psychosis, severe agitation, Tourette syndrome, tics, and delirium. It works by blocking dopamine receptors in the brain. It is available as an oral. Okay, so it does all this, right? Yeah, we'll go. I'll let you screenshot. All right. Let's bring it down. So you can read it on your own, all right? So, yeah. And I'm sure there's this Wikipedia if you need it. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't worsen psychosis due to psilocybin. Had no clue. Alright, so anyways, you can find that. And then I found out about this. So, I guess someone, I don't know, but anyways. So I got taken off of this when I was, let's see, wait a second. When I was sent here. So, Central Kansas Mental Health Center. And Salina, Kansas. I went there for like 40 years. Alright. This was like talking to psychiatrists and therapists like every week. I was like their long-running patient at the time. I was like, I've been through more psychiatrists, therapists, and what have you than anyone at this place. So I should already be an expert. I should already be hired on at this point. So yeah. 40 years at Central Kansas Mental Health Center. Is it mine now? Nope. All right. Tell me when it is. And then they sent me here, so I don't know why they don't really have a have a web page except for a map quest, I think. Yeah, I don't know. So they sent me here, I think. I think this is what it is. And you do things like learn how to do office shit and wash the kitchens and a little bit of therapy and how to stay, do like, I don't know, maybe lawn care. I don't know. That's what we were learning. I did office work, so cooking. I didn't want to do cooking because I was scared I might fuck some shit up. But I knew how. I wanted. I wanted to learn how to type. So yeah. So I did that, and then I got. I did this like. I was released after about a year and a half or two after coming out of Menninger's clinic, going into here for about 2 years and going to here for 40 years about that. And then when I got HIV, I was sent here, right here. And, well, yeah, behavioral health, yeah. I think I did this for how long? A week? Maybe a month? I don't remember. Not as good as Menninger's. Definitely not as good as Menninger's. Yeah, definitely not as good as Menninger's. But, yeah. I was there. And then they put me on this. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not it. This. One bad, but I kept passing out like I was on dope. But ultimately, in the end, after for 40 years, I was always on this. This is the medication I've been on for 40 years after going to here. This is after I started going here after Menninger's clinic. They started putting me on, let's see, olanzapine, yeah. So I was, like your screenshot, you got your screenshot? All right. Here it is. Let's see. Does olanzapine cause sexual side effects? Yeah, right here. So I was having severe problems with this in the last 2 years, and I'm still having problems. So yeah. So I needed to see a urologist, like I said. Yeah. That didn't work out too well. So when I was sent here, they upped up my olanzapine after the lithium experiment. So I went straight, they rose olanzapine up. So basically I was on a higher dosage of olanzapine. Helped me sleep. So to this day, I still have insomnia problems, and I was having insomnia problems while taking this too. So I thought, damn, there's something wrong with the medicine too. So I wasn't sleeping even on the medicine. Usually it knocked me out for hours. Now it wasn't even doing shit. It wasn't even working. So, yeah, that. So, anyways, I got this the other day from Central Kansas Mental Health Center. I haven't been there in like, I don't know, 5, 6 years. So I just got this July 20th. So I haven't been to this place in about 5 years. Let's just say that. Anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Because I transitioned over to Salina Family Healthcare. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I told them that I was no longer there. So, yeah. I told them that a long time ago, that I was going somewhere else. But yeah, apparently. Anyways. So, I started going here instead. Because I thought, this might be a little different, like a little better. I don't know. I was trying to figure things out, like try something new. I was already going here for my HIV services, and I was impressed. I thought, wow, they really do care. So yeah, I started coming to the psychiatric one part of it. So I don't know which ones are which or who. So I don't know. You can figure it out yourself. But yeah, so I started going here, and trying to figure out what type of medication would best suit me, what could help me the best. So, yeah. We're just experimenting with new and trying genetics and all that stuff. So it wasn't like I was completely quitting, behavioral health clinics. It was just that we needed to find a new solution to a problem that I was having. And that was I wasn't sleeping anymore, and I wasn't able to maintain regular sexual functions. So, yeah. Anyways, it got pretty bad to the point that I was bleeding. But anyways, in 40 years I was on this. So, yeah. But this was from Salina Family Health Pharmacy. Reason being, I was in transition mode, from Central Kansas Mental Health Center. So I was still on this medication for a time being at Salina Family Healthcare Pharmacy before I started having severe medical issues, because that might have been attributed to this medications. So, yeah. Do you need another snapshot? Let's go. Let's go, kids. All right. There you go. Debaters in high school. How did we do this shit? This is how we do it. This is how we do it in debate squad class. Yeah. All right. I know how to compile evidence but I suck at arguing. I just know what sounds good, and so you might need it for later. So I know that part, but I don't know. I try my best. Anyways, got it? Great. Don't worry, I'll be up later. So, so do we keep going? Yeah, let's keep going. All right. We'll do this real quick. All right. Got it? Great. And this is the final one. So read the fine print. I know it has to be perfect to some degree. Yeah. All right. Good. There. All right. So all right. And these are the medications I was taking. So no, was I resisting psychiatric treatment? No, just trying a new method. This one was becoming problematic now. It was causing a lot of bad physical problems for me. And we were trying to figure out what was the best mode of action to take in that. Don't want to add more doctors to my list, if you know what I mean. There's no point, so yeah. Do with that information what you will. It's not meant to be incriminating, I don't think, but I think I know enough about psychology at this point to realize what's the best care for me. Apparently, someone thinks this is better for me. Yeah, being a retard. It's getting worse by the minute, but yep. Thank you. Thank you. Apparently you make pretty good decisions. Maybe next time you should try being a doctor, you know? I don't know. A doctor is probably a better decision. Even then, it seems like every time I meet someone that isn't a doctor, they don't have the fucking... Who knows? Anyways, bye.